Okay. So, hi everyone. Welcome once again to this live session with Moja Tu. And today we are joined by James, who is a sponsor and also a board member with Moja Tu. James, so glad to have you on board today. Thank you for making time for this live session and just to let our audience familiarize with some of the people that we work with. So, James, maybe if you can start by telling us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Hey, thanks for having me today. Um,
Yeah.
uh, I was born on the East Coast in Manhattan, but moved very quickly with my mother and my identical twin brother down to Texas, Austin, Texas. So I've been in Austin about 50 years of my life. So I'm pretty much a Texan in my mind. Um,
Mhm.
I work in the data science field at Apple Incorporated and been there 29 years, almost 30 years. So a company man and married to a very lovely wife, Audrey Page.
Okay. So, James, are we talking to you or your identical brother?
Um, you would know, he's a little more clean cut, short hair,
Mhm.
no beard. Sometimes he
Uh-huh.
plays games and grows one, but
Mhm.
our voice is very much the same. He works at the same company, so some people
Oh,
have
okay.
gotten us confused.
Okay. We just wanted to get that out of the way. So, James, what's your philosophy about giving and why do you do it?
Sure, sure. I think everybody needs to have a philosophy about life in general, right? And mine's
Yeah.
live, give, and feel. Uh, and
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
leaning in on the giving part of my philosophy is something that
Mhm.
I've always wanted to do. Um,
Mhm.
I'm very passionate about it. My wife is passionate, whether it's giving time
Mhm.
or giving money.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping in retirement to give a lot more of my time in this
Mhm.
space. Been very blessed, and
Yeah.
so it seems easy to help our communities.
Yeah. And we appreciate that. So, so in your philosophy of giving, why did you choose to learn to Moja Tu?
Um, There were a few things. We've been active in a number of charities or nonprofits in the past.
Mhm.
What I like the most about Moja 2 is the transparency, the idea and concept that the money that you give to sponsor a student goes directly to that student, right? Moja
Mhm.
2 has found ways to manage the organization and ensuring that when people donate to a particular individual, that they know that that money's going to be directed to them, whether it's school, health, housing, whatever we need to do to help that student. And that was a change because in the
Mhm.
past, other organizations aren't as transparent, or you get the 20 some odd percent of your money's going over here, or we got frustrated seeing charities running multiple happy hours. It's like, where's our money going to plan this
Mhm.
party? Or is it helping, what we thought that cause was driving towards? So it
Mhm.
was refreshing and easy to jump on board with Moja 2, knowing how they manage their nonprofit.
Okay.
And of
So how
course,
do you?
the,
Mhm.
the idea and concept that this is going to educate kids, right? Because we know that's a foundation they need to grow and
Yeah.
blossom and be successful.
Okay. Yeah. So, how many students do you sponsor, or have you sponsored so far?
Sure. So we've sponsored 4 students in all. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
3 are currently still active and in school. Fellister, who was our first in 2016, just graduated high school. Her
Yeah.
bracelet that she gave me just broke this
Nice.
year. So I had this all while she was going through junior high and high school. She told me I'll
Mm-hmm.
bring it next year. She'll fix it.
Mm-hmm.
We have 2 in college right now, Magdalene and
Mm-hmm.
Patricia.
Yeah.
And then Ian was kind of a late adopted sponsor where we helped
Mm-hmm.
sponsor some of his university, and he has since graduated. So we are so proud of all of them. Looking forward to what Fellister's decisions are for her, to continue her education. So
Mm-hmm.
very excited to have our 4 kids because Audrey and I do not have kids, and so this is another way of, us being blessed and wanting to give back. And so,
Mhm.
we've kind of got 4 kids of our own in Africa right now.
Yeah, that's very sweet. So have you met them?
Yes, I have
Mm-hmm.
met uh, all of them. I have not met Patricia face to face,
Mm-hmm.
but been fortunate enough to go to Africa almost every year prior to COVID, and plan to come yet again this year and see all the kids face to face again. Miss them.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How do you maintain communication with them when you're not able to see them face to face?
That's another great thing about Moja Tu, right? They
Mm-hmm.
make it easy for you to engage with the students often during their breaks. We don't want to, disrupt their day to day lives when they're in school or in
Mm-hmm.
boarding school. But when they are out, Moja Tu arranges for video conference calls. And
Mm-hmm.
you can write a letter at any time. And
Yeah.
so often that that letter back and forth helps with the gaps between the video
Mm-hmm.
conferences that we get to have, where we do finally get to see their smiling faces,
Mm-hmm.
virtual hugs, all that good stuff that goes with seeing them.
Yeah. So maybe if you can give us a little of a sneak peek about what goes on in the video calls.
Sure. I mean, they're all different based on the personalities of the kids you're working with. Some are certainly more chatty than others. It is a
Mm-hmm.
learning experience and curve, right? When you're
Yeah.
new to this and you have a new student, they're shy.
Mm-hmm.
And so just kind of breaking the ice a little bit and getting them to feel comfortable, which,
Mm-hmm.
we have people there helping. Sometimes there can be some communication gaps when the younger kids are learning and to talk, but I think I've been lucky in that I've been
Mm-hmm.
able to see them all in person. And so
Yeah.
it makes those video conferences even easier. So much so now that we don't do them typically, they weren't done individually. Usually we had all the kids on at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Ian and Magdalene and Fellister were like, a little family in and of themselves. And then we, talk and they joke and play around and we know each other
Mm-hmm.
are looking out for each other when we can kind of see our family all there on the call.
Yeah.
Really, really something neat experience.
Yeah. And they refer to each other as siblings.
Pardon?
They refer to each other as siblings. Those who are
Yes.
sponsored by the same sponsor.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's the whole family. So what have you been especially gratified in seeing come to fruition through your support?
Sure. I think the students, all of them, ours included,
Mm-hmm.
living into the values that Moja Tu is trying to impress upon these students
Yeah.
and young adults, which is giving back, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think philosophically, you see that in action every day.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
I, I'm I'm so proud of the work Esther and Edwin have done. They're graduates of the program, so to speak. And here they are now running things in the region. So to see that, I know Magdalene is, certainly a mentor and a leader.
Yeah.
And so, and again, I think it's all the students. And that's very evident when we're during break and you
Mm-hmm.
see the older students coming back to the, Dream and Sons of Monasai and helping the other students
Mm-hmm.
mentoring, coaching. It's so proud to see the values lived out in our organization.
Yeah. So you keep mentioning the word mentorship. Um, and I know you give your time to the organization to mentor some of these students. Why is it so important for you and maybe for other people
Um,
to pick up? Mm-hmm.
well, we often do it with the. I think we all need good role models, people who have had some experience. And you don't have to be gray haired to be wise and live through some things that you want to pass on or share with others. That maybe their path is a little bit more straight and narrow rather than some of the veering off that others have learned and done and come back to
Mm-hmm.
align. So to be able to help people grow into young adults, it's
Yeah.
it's not an easy transition to go from a boarding school environment to now you're on your own in this big open world attending university, it's all on you
Mhm.
now. Nobody's telling you when to go to school or not.
Yeah.
And so, if there's anything I can do to help in that transition into
Mhm.
college and then that transition out of college, right? Into, acquiring a good CV and getting an
Mhm.
attachment, which will then help
Mhm.
you ultimately get the right job right after university. So helping through those transitions is a something that I think all of us who are part of this mentoring program
Mhm.
enjoy doing and want to make sure it goes as smooth as possible.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you so much, James, for your time. We are so blessed to have you as Moja Tu. And to the rest of the people, that is it from us. Thank you. Keep tuning for the next session of our live. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, bye bye.
Bye bye.